He's clean, he's mean, he's the go-between. Welcome everyone. This week we're going back to 1976 for a crime thriller film called St. Ives, starring Charles Bronson, John Houseman, and Jacqueline Bisset. And this directed by J. Lee Thompson. I hope you enjoyed this week's story. It begins on Sunday, October 24th at 11 a.m. in Los Angeles. Lawyer and friend Myron Green stops in at the Hotel Lido to visit his client. His client is Raymond St. Ives, played by Charles Bronson, a crime reporter, novelist, and ex-policeman. Mr. Green tells Ray he has a job for him. A rich 65-year-old eccentric by the name of Abner Procaine, played by John Houseman, wishes to employ his services. It seems 5 of his journals have been stolen, and the thieves are holding them ransom. Ray would act as the go-between, passing them $100,000 for the leather journals. Intrigued, St. Ives bets $500 on the Rams to win the football game, hops in his 1969 Jaguar Mark II, and heads to Mr. Procaine's estate in Holmby Hills. There, while watching the 1925 silent war film The Big Parade, St. Ives is greeted by Mr. Procaine and permanent guest Janet Whistler, played by Jacqueline Bisset. Moments later, they receive a phone call from the thieves. Bring the $100,000 in a Pan Am bag to a laundromat at 2 a.m. and make sure you come alone. Raymond St. Ives is surprised to find the thief dead, which gets noticed by a police officer, resulting in detectives Aller and Deal taking St. Ives downtown for questioning. Fortunately, a friend, Lieutenant Charlie Blunt, arrives, knows St. Ives wouldn't pull such a stunt, tells Ray he's free to leave. St. Ives heads home, puts the money in the hotel safe, and the next morning at 10:15 a.m. is visited by Janet Whistler. Janet states Mr. Procaine has received another call for more ransom and wishes Ray to be the go-between once more. After Janet leaves, Ray heads to Cole's restaurant and asks Ash, the owner, what's the word on the street about Abner Procaine and his journals. Things don't improve when St. Ives leaves. He gets picked up by 3 thugs wanting money. Luckily, Ray gets tough and escapes. Another call, Wednesday, 10 a.m., Union Station. Bring the same Pan Am bag. An upset St. Ives heads to Johnny Parisi's garage for more street information. So, does the Union Station pickup go as planned? Do the journals contain information for a robbery planned by Abner Procaine and his associates? Or are there bigger plans in the works for an inside job, I wonder? Released July 23rd, 1976 in Chicago, our story is based on the 1972 novel The Procaine Chronicle by author Ross Thomas. An American writer of crime fiction, he is best known for his witty thrillers that expose the mechanisms of professional politics. And film rights were bought in 1972 by Warner Brothers Pictures. 70% of Google users like this movie, stating, great fun for any true Bronson fan. One of the better Bronson films from his peak starring period, and Forgotten Bronson film is actually one of his better ones. I think so. It's the first one I've done on my channel, but I'll put up the links to a couple of other great detective stories, Tony Rome from 1967 and Brannigan from 1975. And our trivia question this week, was this another early performance by someone who appeared in this film? Was this another early performance by someone who appeared in this film? So, excuse me. Hello, yes, history, and the answer to our trivia question is next. This week for history, I'm going to talk about this film's director, J. Lee Thompson. So, John Lee Thompson was an English film director, screenwriter, and producer. Initially an exponent of social realism, he became known as a versatile and prolific director of thrillers, action, and adventure films. Thompson was born August 1st, 1914 in the Bristol suburb of Westbury-on-Trim, southeast of England. Since his family had links to the theatre, he studied at Dover College and then worked in the theatre, joining the Nottingham Repertory Company as an actor and stagehand. Thompson wrote plays in his spare time, writing over 40, continuing a hobby he had started at the age of 9. His first credit was The Price of Folly in 1937, based on his play, and worked on the scripts for Glamorous Night in 1937, and he worked as dialogue coach on Jamaica Inn from 1939, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and I have that film, by the way. Thompson served in World War II as a tail gunner and wireless operator in the RAF, and after the war he returned to his work as a scriptwriter. His first film as a director was Murder Without Crime in 1950, which gave him money to continue writing plays. However, Thompson said, "The fact is I found directing to be much easier than writing, and I enjoyed it much more than writing, so I became a director." Having success in the 1950s and 60s, Thompson vaulted to international fame with The Guns of Navarone from 1961, receiving a Best Director nomination and earning him the nickname Mighty Mouse. Turning down the first 2 sequels, Thompson became available to make the 4th and 5th Planet of the Apes installments, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes in 1972, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes in 1973. In 1976, Thompson began a long collaboration with actor Charles Bronson, beginning with St. Ives. Getting along famously, they really worked well together. They went on to make 8 more films together, including The White Buffalo in 1977, The Evil That Men Do in 1984, and Death Wish 4: The Crackdown in 1987. Thompson was a 4-time BAFTA Award nominee, received accolades from the Berlin and Cannes Film Festival, and was both a Golden Globe and Directors Guild of America Award nominee. Amazing. And the answer to our trivia question this week: was this another early performance by someone who appeared in this film? It certainly was, yes. And it was American actor and musician Jeff Goldblum. Goldblum made his acting debut, slated as Freak Number 1, in the 1974 Charles Bronson vigilante action film Death Wish. After small roles in California Split in 1974 and Nashville in 1975, Goldblum played a Hood in St. Ives in 1976, Hood number 3 to be exact. Goldblum has starred in some of the highest grossing films of all time, such as Jurassic Park in 1993 and Independence Day in 1996, as well as their sequels. I'd like to give a big thank you to my viewers and subscribers. A big thank you to my new subscribers. Thanks for helping out my channel, and we'll see you soon.